speaking of On the Nose, I do want to let you know that this week's episode, or this week's On the Nose segment, I should say, is brought to you by our great friends over at Aviron. I love these gentlemen. I told you about them. It's essentially a husband and wife team, and they're tremendous people, and we're so proud to be repping them. You'll recall the first time we spoke about Aviron, both NewYorkRic and GC went toe-to-toe in a bit of a bike challenge. We may, in fact, be getting a rematch on today's episode, so stay tuned for that. Sean Brady even throwing his name into the hat. He wants some of the smoke as well. But let me tell you about our good friends over at Aviron first. Your workout routine should not feel like a grind. Everyone says, going on a treadmill, going on a bike, going on this, going on a run, it's so boring. Well, that's why Aviron makes exercise more fun and easier to stick to using gamification. Yep, you can play actual video games while you work out. Can we get some music, Frank? Can we get a little pomp and circumstance, or is there no music to be had? I like a little music. Thank you. Powered by their award-winning Aviron World software and paired with industry-leading hardware, Aviron's rower, bike, and treadmill deliver some of the most fun and effective workouts ever. Jump into a session, and before you know it, you're locked in, competing head-to-head, racing against the clock, or chasing your personal best. Aviron's got everything from games and challenges to virtual rides, on-demand classes, and the most streaming options out there. Sweat it out, get competitive, and look forward to your next cardio day. And Aviron's holiday sale starts tomorrow, so you can unwrap some great deals. Plus, you can head over right now to avironactive.com/uncrowned. That's avironactive.com/uncrowned. Go check them out right now. Trust me, we don't partner up with any jabroni companies out there. They are legit. They are the best. It's fun. It's entertaining. You're not thinking about the workout. You're having a good time. You're distracted. It makes it fly by. And if you go to avironactive.com/uncrowned, you get an extra $50 off. Again, that's AVIRON active.com/uncrowned to end boring workouts. No one wants a boring workout. I have them at home. We have them here. Highly recommend them. Support them because they support us. I like that that Irish music. That was
a little Celtic folk music, right?
Hadn't heard that one before.
No, I know a lot of people argue they all sound the same. Yeah. I don't think that's appropriate. They each have their own unique
no, I like that. That was good.
Tempo, yeah.
I'm still buzzing from Paul Hughes, if I'm being honest.
What a spot, right?
I gotta admit, I got a man crush on Paul Hughes.
He's the man. He's so likable. Look at Petesy with the grin.
Petesy was dying back here too.
Petesy gimmick just killed me.
By the way,
I was crying, man.
When you were on, right?
Blanche, Petesy was loving it.
Petesy, were you on?
On what?
Like, were you there when he started talking about that stuff?
He heard everything.
Oh yeah, I was already on the call. Yeah, I was pissed.
If we weren't hiding Petesy from Paul Hughes, it would have been incredible to go to Petesy's camera because he was legit rolling.
Oh my God, that is amazing. Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know where he started. He started that on your show too.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Hang on a second. I'm only after seeing GC's stuff. Is that 1990?
Take a look at this. Got multiple compliments from Irishmen on the ride in today. They were like, "Oh, that's a real jersey right there, man. That's an absolute classic."
Oh, there it is.
Start it up.
That is beautiful, GC.
I really appreciate that, PTA. Coming from you, that means a lot.
Do you know how many Irish children were conceived while lads came home from that World Cup?
What year did you say it was? 92?
1990.
1990. The crack is 90.
Year.
That's where it comes from, right?
Great year.
No, but
you literally told me that the crack is 90 is about Italian 90.
No, I think Paddy Hewlin told you that, and you're attributing it to me.
Is it not true?
The crack is 90. It's like it's 90. You know what I mean?
All Irish people are the same.
Wow, you know how many people I've told like these people love Italian 90 so much that there's a saying.
No, we do. That is true. That is true. Like
I feel like I've been conned.
My dad he used to get emotional when he was talking about 1990. We were all like. We're like toddlers, so he was just going out for all the games, and we got to the quarterfinal, I believe, and there was played Romania in the first knockout game, and it went to penalty shootouts, and everyone just stayed out all night. I think he got lost in the park trying to walk home, like a park that is right beside our house. I think he just fell asleep there for the night. Legend.
How far did you go? Quarterfinals?
Quarterfinals, yeah.
Do you remember? How old were you in 90?
Well, every time they played a game, they'd have these street parties. So like the whole block would shut down. There'd be a DJ. There'd be a massive barbecue. It was class. So I remember that. I don't really remember watching the football. I remember 1994, the US, when we got to the last 16 and that one, and that was just magic. It was that's why there's so much despair in the country right now. I believe it's because the football team is doing so well all the time.
What about this jumper? Where'd you get this?
I don't know where I got it. I got it off online somewhere.
It's fantastic. The Mega Powers.
It's a bit big. It's
I thought it was a Chiefs one at first, man.
Yeah, me too. I was worried.
Chiefs colors. It's not as impressive as GC's jersey, but at least I've made an effort this time. I remember Halloween, the lads were all dressed up. I just came on with a hat on, and they were like, "Petesy, for fuck's sake, man."
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
Hey, can I make an admission of guilt here? I have to do it. I have to clear the air, clear my conscience. Bought the Polaroid camera for the studio, to take pictures of you and guests. I folded. I completely cracked under the pressure.
What, Paul?
Took the picture?
Yeah.
Realized after Paul had walked out, the film was the camera was out of film.
So we took a fake picture.
Completely folded.
Because we've taken so many pictures of all the other guests.
Really one of my most embarrassing moments.
By the way,
get him back here now. He's probably eating lunch.
By the way,
down the road.
he was so excited about the Polaroid. He even I was like, "Oh, you guys are doing Polaroids now?"
I honestly thought about doing like a hack where I just took a picture of like a screen of the picture that you guys took together. But I just had to clear my conscience.
Wow.
It's all right, GC. I'll let it go, man.
Hopefully he's not listening.
Yeah.
I
really folded.
I folded. The best, though. Isn't he such a lovely guy, though?
If he keeps it up, he'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll do it again.
Oh, January 25th is I'm gonna be on pins and needles
coming up.
All right, let's get to some questions, gentlemen. Kenny is up first. Happy holidays, Ariel and team. This question is for everyone. Other than Jones versus Aspinall, what are your 3 top unannounced fights you most want to see in 2025? And guess what, Kenny? We're not going to answer that question. You know why? Because we're going to talk about that in our preview show, all right? Our 2025 preview show. So I don't want to give it away. Is that fair, guys, or is that unfair?
That's the right move.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Even though I have an extensive list.
Okay.
I'm alpha.
That's right. That's what we do around here. But thank you. I do appreciate it. And that is to come. You'll get that on Monday, December the 23rd. Connor from Canada. Hey, guys, I need your advice on something. When I get home from work, my girlfriend will ask me about my day, and it usually takes me about 5 minutes to recap. I'll then ask her about hers, and she will take up to 45 minutes or something. How can I politely get her to give me a shortened version without offending her? Thanks.
I can answer this one. You can quote the television show Space. Just say, skip to the end.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yeah, my wife loves it. She stops talking. She closes her eyes and counts back from 10. And then I think I get the gist of what the day was like, and we move on to dinner.
Wow. You guys...
he needs to shorten his answer. 5 minutes, mate. Like, what happened?
Yeah, that's true. You're setting a wrong...
Oh, you think the 5 minutes is too long?
He's setting the tone completely wrong there. How's your day? Grand. And move on. Walk out of the room so you don't have to bat it back.
Grand is a great shout. I haven't used that one in a while.
He doesn't even wait to hear the response. He's just like, it was great.
How's your day? Grand. I'm out of the day. I'm out the door. If we have a good, compelling conversation when I come back, please. That's what I want. That's what my body language is saying. So I'd advise him.
I guess you do work from home, eh? So you don't walk into the house. Okay. But you leave after your work.
Yeah, well, it's very different. Like a line would take probably 25 minutes to walk to this side of the house. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, it's so
all
big.
this space, and you still haven't prepped the guest room for me.
Well,
he'll get somebody.
We don't want any vagrants coming in.
Are we going to that burrito place when I come visit?
There's one in Blanchardstown.
Yeah, what was it called?
Boojum.
Yeah, that's where we'll go.
It's a weird name, if I'm being honest.
Sounds like
is it something to do with like bougie?
Burritos.
Yeah.
Bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
The one and only says in the chat, say, give me the 3-rounder at the Apex version, babe. I think that actually...
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
That's great.
I mean, you'd have to be a hardcore fan to get that reference. I don't know about you. Perhaps EJ will understand this. I do get asked, how was the show? How was the day? And I don't really want to talk about it. I'd rather actually block it all out. Not because it's a bad thing, but it's like, I'd rather just listen to someone else tell me about something else than we've talked about it enough. And
sounds like you take the pizza route then.
Yeah, but it's not because I'm
did a one-word answer.
Yeah, it's not because I'm being rude. I just don't really feel like. Well, first of all, on these particular days, speaking a lot, but also, I think my wife takes it as like an insult, but it's not that. Like she'll ask me, like she'll always say, "Who's on the show today?" or "Who was on the show today?" And my answer is always people.
Wow. You're
This is a
busting
PT
the
Carroll.
keyword.
You're 100%.
Yeah.
In your
You're
defense,
100%.
it's
Well,
all
but-
over social media.
But also, I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Kai Car France was on, and then Tyron Woodley was on, and like, what do I have to get into all of this?"
Who, me?
Yeah, what's the point? I don't know. I don't know if I'm being a
So we have
dick.
the same tactic. We're using the same tactic.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like you could at least give her the lineup, you know?
Yeah, yours is a bit more rude than mine, actually.
You
Right,
can
it's
tell
always
her what you
people.
tell me and be like, just look at the YouTube headline.
I mean, I should, and I have at times. No denying. Actually,
You should actually just start saying grand and then texting her the link to the full show.
oh yeah,
That's
That'll
it.
go
Just
well.
try the grand and leave the room. Just set the tone.
My wife and I, we actually every time, as soon as I walk in the door, we actually sit down together and have a full debrief. It takes about an hour and a half.
Talking
You know,
shit.
just kind of.
No.
is that true?
90
Reviewing-
minutes
No
at 10 after you make it all the way on the Long Island Railroad.
There's
up to
no
Amsterdam?
My wife and I have been together so long that there's an unstated agreement that neither of us gives a shit about the other's day.
Wow, I love it.
And don't ask. Now, I will say that agreement, that unwritten rule, is observed more by me. And then every 6 months, I'll get you never ask me about my day, and so then I
Yeah.
have to like kind of
We don't
break from
care.
it.
And then you ask about it for a few days.
And then I ask about it for a few days, and then
And
we
then you
move
go-
on from
yeah.
that.
Ariel, you should
Um,
say grand and then walk out the door, but walk out into the backyard and just start messing with start playing in the giant pile
Oh,
of
the
compost.
compost. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like go outside, smoke a cigarette.
Smoke a cigarette while you're playing with the
Yeah,
compost.
the Ben
Start
Affleck look.
digging through it. Yeah, exactly. exactly.
the
Yeah.
best
Do the
That's
Ben
how I
Affleck. Do the
That's
Ben
how I
Affleck.
feel when someone asks me how my day is. I feel like Ben Affleck in that picture. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
You know what's funny? I actually am more willing to engage with strangers on how my day is going. Like when
Yes.
people ask me, like in the street, like "How's your day going?" I pause for a second. I actually try and give them an answer, good, bad, whatever, indifferent. When my wife sometimes asks, if she even asks, like I'll just be like, "Yeah, it was fine."
I usually throttle it up. I usually am like, it's up there for maybe the best days of my entire life.
Serious? Like
Yeah,
a random.
now,
I
is it
usually
genuine,
just
or-
no, it's completely
Okay, got it.
disingenuous. I'm lying to their face. It was an average day that I'll forget within a week. But I pump it up and say I've never
what's
been
the
better in
reason
my
for this?
entire life. I don't know. You know, positivity. Put it out. in the world.
Yeah, like
I
Kai Car
actually,
France.
my go-to response is, "It was a fun day," and I think that speaks volumes for work.
Okay, but
That's
what
how
is
you
the
say it too. That's how
what
you
is
say
the
it?
point of all these
It was a fun
pleasantries?
day.
Truly, what
I mean,
is
it's
the point?
literally like, "How was your day?" "Oh, it was fun." I realize that I've said that over the past couple of years, as opposed to like, "Oh, it was a day." or-
Now, do you expand
Happy to hear
upon that?
Yeah, like when asked, "Oh, what was fun about it?" It's like, "Oh, Ariel showed up with bagels, really
Wow.
acknowledged me."
Rubbing this in my face again.
Connor
I
invited
brought
me
you a
out.
bagel today, Frank.
Wow.
See, things the wires are crossed.
Not a fun day today. You won't be telling it was fun today after this bagel
Yeah,
scandal.
after this whole thing, well, actually, when she hears it, I said the whole skip to the end bit. She's
Yeah,
probably
she's not
gonna
gonna like
talk to
that.
me.
She's
Yeah.
not gonna like that.
All right, well, we'll go back to the questions now after
Grand.
all that. James Portland asks, Hola, Ariel, how do you see Cody's title run ending? Cody Rhodes, that is. I thought Kevin Owens should have won on Saturday and had Cody win it back at the next Saturday night's main event or Royal Rumble. Would WWE really have The Rock beat him at WrestleMania? I didn't think for a second that Kevin Owens, if you just kind of look at Roman Reigns' run, every time people were like, oh, it's definitely going to be this time. Like they had him keep the belt for 4 years, and I think Cody's going to keep it for a while as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he retains at WrestleMania and then some. And so, no, I don't think The Rock, if he does in fact go up against The Rock, and I don't think that's fait accompli, maybe it's CM Punk. I don't think that's a done deal. I think he retains. So I don't see it ending anytime soon. He's selling a ton of merch. He's supremely popular. Why end it? I would be very surprised. They're doing some sort of like fan/press event today, WWE is, and I guess they announced that Logan Paul is actually coming back. I guess there was some talk of him
Against Connor?
No, just coming back to wrestling. There was some talk of maybe him not coming back. Did you hear about this?
I did not, but that feels weird. Like, isn't he amazing? Isn't he like?
I think he was. I think he was working.
Oh,
If
okay.
I'm being honest, I think he was working. But yeah, they announced it, and then they announced that, or they did a face-off between CM Punk and Seth Rollins for the January 6th Netflix debut. Who's excited about that? Live on Netflix. It's going to be a big stretch for Netflix coming up with the 2 football games on Christmas Day and then the January 6th debut. I would be shocked if there's any issues. That was a freak thing, but I think it's going to be.
You're talking from a tech standpoint?
Yeah, streaming standpoint.
Yeah, I'd be shocked as well.
Here's Debo. Shalom, Ariel. Curious to get your insights on how involved Dana White is in the broadcasting production for the UFC. Do you think he gives feedback to the commentators during the shows or after the shows? Is he the one who decides the broadcasters for each card, or do you think he is more hands-off? All the best for the holidays to you and the boys in the back, Debo. So in the early days, he was supremely involved. There was always a gentleman named Craig Borsari who was sort of like the EP, the head of production for the UFC, and he's still in that role. But now at this point, maybe 12 or so years ago, it's been a while, they hired a young man named Zach Candido, who's incredible at his job from ESPN, and he kind of became the day-to-day head of production, if you will, right under Craig. And Dana kind of lets them, do their thing at this juncture. There's the stories about Vince McMahon being in the broadcaster's ears, and Dana White himself has talked about having the phone that could go directly into the truck and he'd chew people out if he was unhappy about something. And I know he does weigh in on certain things, but I don't think to that degree anymore. And he's certainly not the one deciding, okay, on this fight night card, the booth is going to be this, and then the desk is going to be this. No, but the look, the feel, that type of stuff, he's supremely involved. At this point, it's a machine that kind of runs itself, but he's not sitting there in gorilla position like Triple H or Vince back in the day, speaking directly to the broadcasters. You see him sitting cage side, and he doesn't have a headset on usually, and if he does, it's just to listen. But he does have the ability. He talks about that red phone to call the truck and weigh in on something if need be. Krylex. Hey, Ariel, happy holidays. As one Egyptian to another, what is your favorite Egyptian dish? When are you going to take the boys in the back and Petesy to get some molokhia or macarona bechamel or some stuffed grape leaves, which is known, he didn't write this, as wararish, or the classic foul madames, which is fava beans. Keep killing it as the uncrowned kings that you all are. My favorite, so my mom is Lebanese. My mom is from Beirut, and so she was obviously the one doing the cooking, and my grandmother as well, who's her mother. And so a lot of it was Lebanese, which is very, very similar. My dad's from Egypt. And so my all-time favorite is kusamershi, and that is basically stuffed zucchini with meat and rice inside, and like some sort of like lemony sauce on top. Very, very, not like thick sauce at all.
Sounds great.
And my mouth is watering just talking about it. No one makes it better than my mom. Every time we go home, that's what she makes. In addition to mejedra, and there's molokhia, as he mentioned, and mejedra is something with rice and lentils. She'll make like the classic chicken and all that. And we also were a big Italian food family, so she would always make all kinds of pasta dishes and lasagna and stuff like that. Mom, pound for pound, hands down, greatest cook of all time. I hope that doesn't offend anyone, but at least as far as my rankings are concerned, she is the best. So number one for me would be kusamershi, sambusek as well, which is like a sort of like not really a pastry, but like a cheese thing, like a round little thing, kind of pastry-ish, but not like flaky like that. Kibbeh beseniye, manouche. I could go on and on, guys, but I will leave it at that because it's making me very.
When are you bringing us? That was the question.
Yeah.
I'm willing to fly out tomorrow.
Stuffed grape leaves too?
Yeah, that's the
absolutely
the wararish.
Oh,
there's ones with meat and there's ones without meat. I'm down with both. I usually typically like the non-meat ones, and then you could also go hot or cold. I typically like the cold ones.
Yeah, I'm cold non-meat on the stuffed grape leaves.
Yep.
I'm free for the next 2 weeks whenever you want to.
Okay, we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
All right. Grab his Rick and twist it. What a year indeed. Good tidings to the crew, and big old lump of coal for Franklin.
Wait, what the hell?
I have an awesome work friend who loves boxing and is getting into MMA. I'd love to treat him, hit up the Intuit Dome, and get some Roscoe's. The upcoming card, 311, is a total killer, but I'm a bit concerned how wrestling heavy it will be in the main 2 bouts. Do you think this would be a good intro event to attend? All the best and blessings into 2025. Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha Vayasem Lecha Shalom.
Damn.
Respect. I would go. First of all, Intuit Dome is incredible. It's fantastic, right? And I think that card is amazing. The top 2 fights are great, but then also you have like Jamal Hill against Yuri Prochaska. And what else? You've got Peyton Talbot on there. UFC 311. Beneil Dariush against Renato Moicano? I mean, come on. Just for that alone. Kevin Holland against RDR. Johnny Walker against Bogdan Guskov. Jalton Almeida. It's a great card. Grant Dawson. Carol Hossa. Ricky Tercios. Yeah. I think you should go. Jesse Orozco, do you ever see yourself retiring from journalism and work for a promoter to do more in-ring interviews and or other gigs? No, I don't think so. I would like to, I like doing it this way. Right? This is more fun. And then I could moonlight, I could do the broadcasting and all that stuff. So I like being on this side of the fence. I love being impartial. And then when there's opportunities to work for the actual broadcaster as opposed to the promoter, i.e. Showtime, DAZN, etc., I'm able to do that. So never say never, but this is something that I enjoy doing more, and right now is more my speed and what I prefer. Now, I'm looking at that Aviron logo right over there, and so let's not delay the inevitable. We had the big showdown about a month ago, and so let's take a little bit of a break in the action here. A month ago, I sort of sprung it upon the boys and said, hey guys, let's do a head-to-head. On that particular day, GC, would it be fair to say, dominated NewYorkRic? Now, NewYorkRic afterwards presented some excuses saying, the resistance wasn't quite what I wanted, this, that, and the other.
Here's all I'll say. Yeah, you're making a strong case here. All I'm going to say is the results will speak for themselves today.
Rick trying to force a trilogy.
I like this, Rick.
Well, there's no pressure on me because I know what happened last time. So GC, you do the honors.
Well,
so we're putting the pressure on me then.
I couldn't help but notice that Rick came rocking track pants. He's ready to go. Like he's not.
I'm in
messing
jeans
about.
over here.
Yeah.
Talk about fair play. I mean, this is
what a shame.
So let's lay out the stipulations here. It's 1 minute.
We're gonna go 1 minute head to head.
1 minute GC versus Rick part 2.
In fact, shout out to Aviron. They've literally created a program for us for this specific purpose called head to head.
Oh, I love it.
Me versus GC, we're going head to head.
Oh my God, this is great.
I was back here getting warm. I was stretching up. I was doing jumping jacks. I was ready to go, and then time went on.
He's a pure athlete. That's
now
the
I've
thing
cooled
about
back
GC.
down. Now I've cooled back down.
And the way we're distinguishing who wins is via the output, right?
Yeah, there's an output measurement. Yep.
All right. Well, last time up, Rick went first, so only fair.
All right, so I have to post a number.
Yeah, here it is.
Put up something, GC. Make
a
it
lot
hard
of
for me.
pressure.
Go on, GC.
What do we got? Any music? Any something?
Rick, I love your new attitude, mate. Like I didn't believe before I heard you speak today, and just hearing that from you has changed my mind completely. I think
I know some things that you don't know. When I was talking about the
there
resistance.
he is.
Oh, here he comes. The champ is here. Champ is here.
Can you hear us right now, GC?
I thought he was going to rip those jeans off stripper style there and have a little pair of short shorts on.
My breakaway pants.
Having
some issues getting on the bike here.
Okay, what are the can you hear me right now? GC, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you just fine. You look fantastic.
Right,
You're on there. The bike looks tremendous.
We're going to go head to head.
Yep.
We're going to go 1 minute.
Okay. What is your resistance? What is your resistance?
It's nothing yet. I'm waiting for it to come up. I'm just starting off the gates hot.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful jersey.
I'm going resistance 100. All right, here we go.
Can you let me know when you start?
I'm started.
Okay, he started. Okay, he's going full throttle.
33 miles an hour right now.
Holy shit.
We're cranking it up. 130 resistance.
Yes. Look at him go. In the darkness of the night. Oh, he just went past 10. And you know what I like about this right now from GC? Let's get a shot of GC real quick. He's out of the seat. He's going full throttle. He's out of the
30 miles
saddle.
an hour.
What's your resistance at? What's your resistance?
130. I got to crank it back down a bit.
Oh my gosh. Now he's sitting down. He's getting tired. He gassed out.
Legs are burning, boys.
What's the screen? What does it say? I'm at 41 seconds, but I think I was a little late. How much time left?
10 seconds.
10 seconds left. Here it is, the final push from GC. I can see Rick getting a little bit concerned. Oh, yes. He's getting
26.6.
What is it?
26.6.
26. What'd you get last time?
Whew, I don't know. Legs are jelly over here.
Do you remember what he got last
knee
time?
almost buckle?
No.
We were like both sub 20. He had like a 15 or something.
Well done, GC. Well done, mate.
Now, GC,
I think I hit like 11.
Can I
Almost
ask
a
you?
half mile.
Yeah, can I ask you? Do you think you came out too strong out of the gate?
Oh yeah, legs started to burn bad.
Yeah, you think so? Next time out, you think it's better to kind of like?
Yeah, I gotta pace myself.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta pace myself.
All right, well,
All right,
there
Rick.
it is. Put it on the board.
Number's been posted.
26.6. The man is struggling. Look at this.
My legs are actual jelly over here.
Oh my gosh, with jeans to boot, which I think is it's a questionable move. And now
get him,
here
Rick.
comes. Here comes the tracksuit wearing NewYorkRic. I mean, this is a great move on his part, right, Petesy? I mean, he came ready.
The freedom your legs.
I also had the tracksuit the first time too, and then for the watch party one, GC actually.
See that bike still spinning?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was still going.
That's called fucking power right there, baby.
All right.
What I didn't say is that Rick actually wears tracksuit every
No,
day.
not true.
It was like a wrestling promo towards the end of GC's when he was just like, no.
All right, we're starting up here.
26.6.
You're starting? Tell me
It's
when.
It's starting up.
3.
5, 4, 3,
You're gonna be able to
2,
see him against
1.
All right, here we go. 26.6. Oh, he's going strong, but he's staying in the saddle, it appears. Look at the strength there.
Look at those arms.
Yeah, look at the biceps.
Holy shit.
By the way, no nonsense from Rick right now. Head down. He is not messing around with us.
I don't know about this tune though, Frank.
What are we at? What are we at, Ricky?
Just a simple, hey, I'm okay.
Can we get the screen?
12.
You're breathing, right?
Oh, yes.
How much time left?
He's at 12. GC got 26.6.
Oh man, look at him. I'm working him right now.
We're a little over
Look at how
30
far ahead I
seconds.
am.
Oh, look at this. This is amazing. Oh, you can
Smoking
see.
his ass.
Wow. That is
Come
you
on,
on the
Eric.
right.
You better catch me, Rick.
Reach
You're about to
inside.
lap him.
You better catch me, Rick. You better catch me, Rick.
Jeez,
Killed it.
You better catch me, Rick.
Oh, he's getting out of the saddle.
Smoked. Look at my ass. You can't even see my ass. I'm too far ahead. I smoked them, left them in the dust.
That is
Pure
time.
power right here.
That is
Pure
time.
power. This is horsepower in these legs.
Well done, Rick.
What was that? Was that 21, Rick?
21.2.
21.
21.2. Not even fucking close.
GC smoked me.
Sean Brady, where you at? Sean Brady,
might
where
need to
you
call
at,
Sean Brady.
baby?
Wow, we need Sean Brady in here. I can't wait
job,
for that
GC.
I
showdown.
think we needed an actual professional athlete to beat GC.
Come on,
It's
posted a
nuts.
number. Wait till the finale. Are we even going to do a 5-miler? I'm calling for a 5-miler in the finale.
5 miles in 1 minute?
No, not in a minute.
Oh, okay,
Who
all
can do
right.
5 miles faster?
Is he limping back to the controls?
My
legs really
I
were
think
jelly.
Rick is on the DL. I think he might
Man
have.
in the arena. Rick, man in the arena.
Yeah, there it is.
Rick's
Commiseration.
back. Rick's struggling to get back
Look
in
how
here.
slow it is for him to get back. By the way, so that means you're 2-0 against Rick.
2-0, man. At this point, it doesn't even feel like a rivalry.
Wow. Rick,
Ricky, when you hopping out
I need to
there?
hit the lab. We need to figure it out.
this is look. This is like the post-fight. What went wrong out there, Rick?
You know what? I thought it was going to be easier. GC's been cooking. GC's been in the lab.
He's been in the lab.
He's got the stamina.
Lean machine.
I was like, oh, he put up 15 last time. I was putting up 20s in practice. I'm good.
Cardio king.
When he hit that one, what resistance did you start on?
110 got up to 130.
When he was on
doing 35 miles
130.
an
I was
hour.
like, oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm back to resting heart rate at this
doing
point.
some pre-workout earlier, and then he was stretching.
The stretching.
Listen, man.
Have we tested GC's piss? Can we just say
Yeah.
what we're all thinking?
I'm a clean man. Come on.
I'll say Paul Hughes said he wanted to crack on that thing. We'll get him back in.
Oh yes, I would.
He
love
would have
to see-
went. He would have went down in there. He was wearing a tracksuit today and everything.
We could have a whole fighters bracket. And so
Sean Brady, you got to come in.
what was your resistance, Rick?
I started at like 80, then I went down to 50.
Oh wow.
I was trying to find that sweet spot. GC was smarter. He went high to start. It was good. It was a good move.
All right. Well, congratulations
Well done, GC.
to GC. Well done.
My
well
belt
done.
is in the mail.
Heavy.
He's still
Where's the crown?
undefeated, 2-0. We'll see what happens the next time out. Thank you very much once again to Aviron, avironactive.com/uncrowned to end all boring workouts. That's the place to be. You can get $50 off if you go there right now. And again, please support them because they support us. Their holiday sale, by the way, starts tomorrow. It's a fun device. You see it right there. That was brilliant stuff, the head-to-head. I love that. Looking forward to the triology, as they say. Let's go back to Jesse now. Can you explain to us the differences you have seen in journalism between MMA and boxing? Which one has maintained a higher standard, in your opinion, for proper sports journalism? I think they're both fine. They're different. I'll say this. This may not be the direction that you were taking this, but like covering a major MMA/UFC event as opposed to a major boxing event is completely different. And covering a major boxing event reminds me a lot of the early days of the UFC where it was kind of the Wild West. Everyone's walking around with cameras, with phones and things like that. The UFC is a lot more rigid. You get your little it used to be a media day where you could get fun stuff with people, but now everyone comes up to the dais. They all have their 15 minutes. And I don't know. Do you guys agree? Like, do you think they should go back to the old way? Because I felt like we were getting more unique, fun stuff. Now everyone's getting the exact same thing. Every outlet gets the same thing. I don't know if there's as much of an incentive for someone to fly out there because, like, back in the day, some of the best stuff that I ever got were those one-on-ones before. You know, like the Khabib one, the Alistair Overeem one, the Nick Diaz ones. Like, those are just Rampage. Now it's everyone just getting the same stuff. In boxing, it's more like the old days of the UFC where everyone's walking around. You could get this guy there. You could get that guy there. You could get this trainer. This promoter is just walking around. It's a lot more loosey-goosey Wild West. And I think that's better for the media because you could get your own unique exclusive stuff. So
I don't
that's
think the UFC is ever going to go back to that.
No.
Because they're not incentivized, right? They can just continue to do it the way they're doing it. And everybody will kind of, follow that suit. The media who could see an opportunity would benefit from that greatly to the point that you're making. Like, you can get exclusive and unique stuff that's not going to be said to everybody else and whoever has the camera pointed.
Oh, yeah.
It would benefit the media, but I don't know if the UFC is incentivized to do it.
I mean, honestly, when I was coming up, if it was the system that, was in place today, it would be a lot harder to stick out. You know what I mean? It's harder to stick out if you want to be an interviewer. One thing I don't understand about the boxing media, especially the video reporters, why do they all do it the same way? Why do they all hold the camera here and ask the questions? Why don't they have a microphone and do it that way? Is it just easier? I don't know. If you're one-man banding it, I guess. But I would say that the juice is worth the squeeze if you just go like a little step further as far as the production is concerned. Just my 2 cents.
Shots.
No, I know it's not shots. It's just like
it's shots.
This is exactly what I did. I used to. By the way, back in the day, just to explain to you why this is not shots. If I was going to a market, let's say Stockton, I remember the Stockton one because it was hard to find someone there. There was a CBS show in Stockton. It was Thomas Denny against Nick Diaz, Shayna Baszler against Chris Cyborg. And I would go to the local Craigslist and I would post something and say, I would like to have a local cameraman. And sometimes you get a great one and sometimes you get a lemon. And sometimes they didn't know how to even give you the footage so that I can upload it to MMArated.com. I mean, it was a complete, crapshoot. Until I got to UFC 104, and that was in LA, and Casey Leiden had just been, I don't know if it was let go or parted ways with Elite XC, and he was living in LA, and I told the editor of the AOL Fan House MMA page, Brian Tucker, hey, let's use Casey. I know he's great. He does great stuff. He could be our interviewer. And it was so easy and seamless that the next event that we went to, because 105 was in England. I didn't go to that one. 106 was in Vegas. It was close for him. He was able to drive. 107 was in Memphis. And I said, I think that we should send him out and he be our consistent full-time videographer as opposed to, the crapshoot of trying to find someone in all these different markets. And so for the first time, and this was 2009 initially, the editor did not want to pay for this because he was like, just get local guys. And I said, I think it's worth it. And so I paid for it. And then he proved his worth. And then from there on out, he was always the guy. And so we traveled the world and it was always, we didn't have to, this is our format and this is our look and this and that. It was just consistent. And of course, Esther, his wife, was along doing the photos and it was a fantastic union and partnership. And he's still there at MMA Fighting. And he was the guy for every single one of my interviews. Literally every single one of those interviews was shot by him and Esther. Sometimes we needed a second camera, mainly for like the walk and talks and stuff like that. But there was never one that he missed. I can't even think of a single one. Every single one of those, basically from UFC 107 all the way until I left to ESPN. And the first one in the ESPN era was like 213 or 14, something I think it was 14. Every single one of those pay-per-views, except for a couple here and there. My son was born, this and that. We were at every single one, and it was always him shooting it. And it was, myself with a mic flag, get dressed up, treated with respect and professionalism, and it worked. And so I say this coming from a place of experience, and I think it worked for me. And so I would suggest them that if they want to up it, because part of the reason why I got into it was I used to see all these like Sherdog interviews where they were recording them with a camcorder like this, and I was like, there's a better way of doing this. And I would still maintain that there's a better way of doing it. Back to the questions we go. Thank you very much, Miss Lippy. Wow, that's a great reference. Thank you very much, Miss Lippy. Anyone know?
Billy Madison. It's the only film you've seen. Only film you've ever seen.
A question for GC and Petesy. I am Irish myself, and I understand St. Stephen's Day, but where does the tracksuit tie in, and how does it correlate with the day?
Oh, well, it's not really. It's more of a. Paul said a Belfast thing. I always thought it was like a North Inner City Dublin thing. And
by the way, we're now at 3 bucks. Does this mean like Eric's gone or what?
No. The question was
just
okay. I just wanted. I was like,
even though this question is all PT.
Right. I got worried there. I was like, wait, what happened there?
I took the gimmick from.
All right.
GC is Irish. He denies it because he looks Scandinavian, but he is in fact Irish. We found that through ancestry, I believe. But it's.
Oh, there it is. Oh, this is a great tune.
Well, it's just, what happens is, right, Christmas Day, it's a day of excess. I mean, food, alcohol, everything. And what they used to do when we were kids was they buy you a Stephen's Day tracksuit because, you know what I mean, it's less formal day. You're sitting around, you're watching the darts, you're watching the football, your belly's a bit, it's not in a good shape. You're feeling a bit swollen. Put on them sweet track pants. We saw Rick rocking them there during the challenge. It's a day of comfort, and that's what the tracksuit is about. I feel like it's a Dublin tradition. I know all around me growing up, we always had Stephen's Day tracksuits. I've simply resurrected in my later years to show the world what a beautiful culture we have here in Blanchardstown.
I think it's great. By the way, like how poor form is it from Paul Hughes to not be going home for Christmas?
I feel like I'm going to have to text Claire and offer my commiserations today because, I mean, what type of son would do that to their mother? Like, that's what I was thinking when he was saying. I was like, oh, too big time now.
Yeah.
Is this not a good excuse, though?
Big time, big Hughes.
Acting the Flash Harry over in Florida.
Wow.
World title on the line, Usman Nurmagomedov?
Nah.
Kissy lips, fancy trainers. What happened to Paul Hughes?
This is rich coming from private jet pizza over here who can just fly wherever he wants at any time.
Did you hear him earlier?
Paul's a working class man making his way up, and you're trying to shame him? How dare you? How dare you? We don't stand for Paul Hughes slander on this show.
We said we wouldn't talk about the PJ. We wouldn't talk about the PJ on the show.
It's out there.
That was in my contract.
The mansion, the PJ, the Rolls Royce, it's all out there, Pizza. Everybody knows now.
You hear Rick's breathing, man? I took this guy out to the woodshed.
I know. That's why I thought
I'm about to fall asleep back here. This man is still gassed out.
Are you okay?
I'm hearing a little wheeze on the microphone.
The hair's lost its poof. It's fallen down because of the sweat.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go for another round.
1 minute.
Oh my God.
Win or learn. By the way, P.S. Your next book club is going to be a good one, GC. Dark Matter is my sister's favorite book, and they made a limited short series on Apple TV, which the wife and I just finished. Extremely fun concept and a great watch. I highly recommend the series. Enjoy, and happy holidays. Thanks for the year.
Brother, it is incredible. I started it on Sunday. I'm already 200 pages in. I'm almost done with it. It's one of the best books I've ever read.
Wow.
I can't wait to finish it.
Wow.
Highly recommend.
By the way,
Dark Matter. Shout out.
Can I tell you something? There's an older gentleman, probably in his 60s, maybe even 70s, retired, but teaches one course every like second semester. He tells me, and I always see him in the morning when I'm walking the dog before I get ready, and he is always, no matter what, no matter the weather, I saw him this morning, always walking, reading a new book. He doesn't buy the books. He takes them out at the local library, and every single time I ask him, first thing I ask, what are we reading today? Today it was about like the history of the Hoover Dam. And he's reading these books. They're not like, they're like actual books that he takes out. I asked him today, I was peppering him with questions. What do we average a week? He says he averages around 2.5 books a week. His rule is that, and some of them are like 600 pages about like the history of the mummies and this and that. His rule, by the way, if he starts the book, he has to finish it. He will never not finish it. He says he thinks he gets to around like 110, 120 a year. He will walk around town, no matter what, no matter the weather, no matter the time of year, reading a book. He doesn't listen to anything. He's never on his phone. He is reading a library book. And and I always say to him, like, I feel like I want to live vicariously through you because I'm so impressed that he takes such great joy in doing this. And so I say this because I feel like you're on your way to that type of
that's
lifestyle.
the dream, that I can just walk around. Does he walk a dog, or is he just walking
by himself? He's got like one of those bags
Satchel?
that, yeah.
Oh, so he's got a little bit of swag to him too.
He walks to the train, which is like a mile away, and he's reading no matter what. I see him all around town, but also around the neighborhood.
I can't do the walk and read.
It's tough.
I see people at the gym on the treadmill reading. I got to be just like sitting there chilling to read.
Yeah, I can't do anything while reading.
I'm also no audiobook. Give me the I don't have a Kindle either. Give me the brick and mortar. Give me
I can't do
real,
the Kindle.
Give me the real paper.
Absolutely not.
Can I
Shout out
just
to
say,
that guy though, legend.
that was such a beautiful story. I mean, it's just incredible. Loving wife and mother, Jacqueline. Ariel, who'd you have on the show today? People. Random stranger walking around the neighborhood. Tell me about the 700 books you read today. Let's have a 4-hour conversation.
I love it.
It's incredible.
Two and a half a week. That's like 150 a year. That's insane.
Fascinating.
I read like 20 a year, and I feel like I'm reading all the time.
Speaking of which, if we ever get like a pub quiz group going, we got to get this guy involved.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
oh my God, you would love his stories. He's great.
Is he like a neighbor, or do you?
Yeah,
not,
he's like he's
like
around the block. He's
like
around the block, and he always gives me like life advice. And I always say like, oh man, okay. He gave me another great line today. He gives me like little nuggets, and he always tells me to appreciate everything. And I say I live vicariously through, and he's like, you have your hands full. You have 3 kids. I'm past that stage and all this stuff. And then at the end he said, everything good. Everyone's good at home. And I said, yeah, everyone's great. And he said, remember, you're always as happy as your most miserable child. I think that was it.
Yeah.
Banger.
Damn.
And
This guy just drops bars on you and then
What
just
happened
keeps
to
walking.
read? Yeah,
and I was like,
learn.
damn. I like pondered that for like 5 minutes.
Does he ever like end the conversation? You keep rambling, and he just starts looking back down at the book, and he's like,
No.
Yep.
I always ask him, what are we reading? Why'd you pick that one? By the way, never buys the book. Always takes it out of the library, which I think
that is legendary status right there. It's got like the thin plastic film been used.
That's what it has. And he opens it, and then I see the little card thingy there in the back.
bookmark.
Yeah. No, not the bookmark.
From the library.
Does he
Yes.
sign each one?
Bookmark.
He probably signs each one with his name and like a philosophical lesson to each person.
This man has figured it out.
You're gonna
You
find out.
don't read
he's
it
an
all
author.
though, Ariel.
I do read it all. Actually, I just bought.
You read like a book a year.
Wow, this is crazy. What's with the slander?
See, he's saying all this when he's across the
I'm just
ocean.
saying,
He can get
like,
away with it.
I just
Oh,
bought. I
like-
just.
Your
live
bookshelf
vicariously
looks
through.
stacked behind you, Petesy.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Petesy
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
like how Paul Hughes came from, and he's just coming for next now. He's out for blood. Petesy,
I
Petesy
need
wants
to
it
get
back in
revenge
blood.
on
I just
someone
bought. I just
for
bought a
revenge.
new book. I just bought a new book to read very shortly. It's called Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh,
I think you've talked
Oh,
about
fair enough. Yeah.
I don't think I've talked about it. It's by I think Viktor Frankl. Are you familiar with it?
The
Maybe.
guy in the concentration camp.
Yeah.
Man, I
Boom.
was just shitting on Rick. I have to go get some water. If you have to have any H2O post bike,
All right.
I
You put in 26.
feel like a man in
earned
the
it.
desert.
You earned it. You earned it.
J Mall 1985. Aloha Ariel. When are you going to chat shit with DDP? I'm assuming you're referring to Dricus Duplessis, not Diamond Dallas Page. I remember after he won the belt, you had him scheduled like 2 or 3 times. It was twice, and he canceled. Just no-showed. I don't even know if he canceled. I wonder if it was because you did a deep dive on all his racial, to put it lightly, comments he made on Izzy. Is there a beef there with DDP? Well, what's interesting about this, and this is like classic revisionist history, after I did that quote-unquote deep dive, which was me explaining the history of the beef, I think he was on 3 times. And so the notion that it doesn't come on because of that is crazy. He was even on the show on the Monday of the title fight against Sean Strickland. Now, of course, and I've seen this before, people win the belt and then they say peace out when they're on the come up, when they're searching for a late notice opponent when their opponent falls out and they're already in Jacksonville and they're in the hotel gym, they're more than willing to come on. But once they reach the mountaintop, it's fuck Ariel and his dastardly ways. Now, not saying that this is the case here. His coach seems like a lovely, lovely guy, a gentleman that you really want to break bread with and have a grand old chat with. DDP, no beef there. No chatting shit. You never hear me do that. You never hear me talk about that. Didn't love that there were 2 no-shows. His manager, Danny Rubenstein, told me both times that it was all confirmed and all well and good, and maybe this was his way of sticking it to me. I don't know. But after the second time, I was like, all right, I'm not going to go down that road again. But it is important to note he was on at the very least twice, I know for a fact, and I think 3 times after that whole thing. Because remember, Izzy beating Alex Pereira. So that whole thing happened in July, and then Izzy beat Alex Pereira, and then he came on. I remember on that show that we did, we were in. I was in Montreal and we did it, and then there was another time. I believe it was after the Robert Whittaker win, and then there was another time after the. No, it was the.
Said he was over it.
Oh yeah, we cleared it all up.
Yeah, so
we DM'd about it anyway. All good in the hood. Open invitation. Still no response back from the other champion. Ruben, Ariel, BITB, and Petesy. By the way, something I've wrestled with. Is Petesy a part of the BITB?
Of course.
All right, so can we just make it BITB and he's a part of it?
It's done.
All right.
There is a ceremony and
Oh wait, hang on. GC's made some pessimistic notes there as to my inclusion.
Like he's part of the crew.
So should it be BITB?
But we are
and
technically
Petesy?
like by definition we are not only are we in the back. Then I was thinking about it today. Me and Rick are also in the back of the control room. We are as in the back as it gets. Not only in the back, we're in the
Frank
back
is
the back.
More
Frank is in front
us.
of us.
The front row knows.
We're as in. We
Joe,
are
I
as
don't want
back
to be
as
in the
it
boys
gets.
in the back then. Don't forget about it.
I'm just saying, are you in the back, Petesy? You're one of the
I'm
boys.
the boy across the Atlantic.
Yeah,
All
you're
right, that's
one of
what
the
I am.
boys, but are you in the
Separate
back?
in the mansion.
I'm a separate entity. I'm a municipality of the Ariel Helwani Show. That's what I am.
You're like
Monaco.
if we're the states, you're like Washington D.C.
He's a colony that we have in Ireland.
Yeah. So are you saying?
I think
No?
he's one of the BITBs.
Okay.
He is one of the boys.
As soon
it just
as
comes
that
into
noise
question
came
of,
out, GC, that was the end of it.
is
for me.
he in the back
That was
or not? I
You know what?
can't stamp that.
fucking devastated.
Go
Listen,
Hey,
these seats
okay,
are-
I was
you
just-
want
dry
this
them off with
seat?
your nice
You want
towel.
this seat, Petesy? This seat is not comfortable. I mean, it is straight up 90-degree angle. I'm sitting here for hours on end. I can't touch my feet to the ground.
Just hopped off
My
the
back
bike.
hurts when I get home at night. It's cramped in. I mean, look at it. The walls are closing in
Wow,
on me.
what
You
else?
don't, you don't
What else?
want this
Oh,
mess
tell us
back
everything.
here, Petesy.
Tell us
Look at
everything.
your spacious setup.
I've got it.
You have an ocean between
velvet.
us.
Look at this.
What is this? The airing of
Velvety
grievances?
gold.
Festivus is in 5 days, guys.
Are you under the
Oh,
stairs?
shout out. I just watched that episode.
Is there an official
No.
date for Festivus?
Stairs
Yes,
is
the
here.
23rd.
23rd. Okay.
What is Festivus?
Festivus.
Come on,
you gotta
man.
watch
You don't watch
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld? I knew you weren't a real New Yorker, Petesy.
Did you know that
Curb Your
the
Enthusiasm guy. Seen all of them.
no?
Way better.
Did you know that the strike had come to an end?
Yeah.
H&H Bagels.
Oh no.
Come on.
Really?
Steam and everything. I get it. Look at me. I get these
Denim
references
vest.
now.
Denim vest. Ruben, thoughts on releasing your own plushies? That would be sick. Also, wanted to know if there would be a World Cup in the UFC. Which country do you think would take the cake? Mine would be Brazil with Dubronx, Pantoja, and Poetan at the forefront, and others like the Fighting Nerds. Happy holidays. Well, first of all, plushies, no thoughts. But
Big Shots?
If our friends from Big
Big
Shots want to
Shots?
hook us up, yeah.
Uncrowned plushies from Big Shots?
That would be great. I'd be down. Brazil, Russia would be a good one, right?
Feel like it's Russia.
Good.
Feel like it's
Yes.
probably Russia.
USA would have a strong shot, right? John Jones.
It's Russia.
Yeah, it's Russia. All right, there it is. Bennett. Hey, Ariel, question on fighter pay. Can you explain why Conor's opponents who don't get pay-per-view points receive a huge payday? Chandler, Dustin, etc. Cowboy. Obviously, for fighters who get pay-per-view points, I understand. But what triggers a higher payday for those that fight Conor not on the pay-per-view plan? Most of them, will have like a Conor clause in their contract. So if I fight Conor McGregor, I will get X amount. And that's basically it. And if you have a good manager, you'll put that in there. Paul Hughes kind of referred to something like that, like, oh, he got a little bit more for fighting AJ McKee. So there'll be carve-outs, as they say. And there's no bigger carve-out than him, so they have benefited from that. Daniel, what's good, boys? I manage a bar in the UK, so for the past 9 or so years, my Saturdays have consisted of a 12-hour shift, racing home around midnight in time for the second prelim, sweating out the full fight night, then 4 hours of sleep to fuel me for the nightmare Sunday shift. I would like to live vicariously through you guys so you can each give me a rundown of your ideal ways to spend Saturday on the day of a big pay-per-view. Also, while I've got you, I wanted to let you know that I am the guy who asked whether I should skip the Manchester card to go on holiday with my girlfriend. You guys steered me in the right direction. I went on the holiday. My girlfriend is now my fiance, and we're expecting our little girl in April. Yeah.
Shit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Good
Imagine
choice.
Right, you're creating families.
Was she
Come on.
conceived on the trip?
It takes a village.
Would the math work out?
Yeah. Wait, when did he say April?
Yeah, April. And
That is literally, Manchester was in
July.
July
That's
minus
amazing.
3 months. That's April. The baby was conceived then.
wow.
Is that why she's now the fiance?
So
Or is that all part of the plan?
Well, so the baby has to at least then be called Ariel, Frank,
Oh, I was thinking Tom.
Connor,
For Tom
or,
Aspinall.
okay. or Aaron.
Just MMA.
Just uncrowned. Name the baby
Just-
uncrowned.
It's like, oh,
You see?
here comes MMA.
Co-op live arena.
Anyway, that's a great one. Or Bilal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great name.
Great.
Passed down for generations.
Here's the thing about this. Okay, so my Saturdays are different than yours because you guys are getting ready to do the watch parties and whatnot. And so and it's all different, right? Because there's sometimes fight nights, there's sometimes pay-per-views. Thank God for ESPN Plus and being able to listen or watch on the phone. That usually helps. But when it comes to the pay-per-views, I'm usually locked in for the entire thing. And I kind of sit in my room there with the books behind me and watch it on my computer so I can have everything in front of me. It's not that great. It's not a great story. There's not really much to it. It sounds like you're living a very exciting life. Now, I will say, I don't know how you guys do it, Petesy included. Like, if there was a sport that was predominantly playing out in the middle of the night, I don't know if I would be a fan, and I sure as hell don't know if I would be covering it. So God bless you guys, and that's why my respect for you is infinite. Amani, I remember in an episode of the MMA Hour, you said you would not get a tattoo due to your beliefs, but my question is, if in an alternate universe you was to have a tattoo, where would you get it, and what would you get? I'd love to get one of those like big sleeves. You know?
Helwani with a sleeve would be sick.
Yeah.
At the lower
What you
back.
get on the sleeve? What's in the sleeve though? What's
It's
the
a
theme?
mixture of things, you know. Maybe it's like the rock style, like the
tribal?
sort
Oh,
of
you're
like
going to get it onto the pec,
Samoan, like here, and then it goes over there.
A carton of oat milk here, and then what else?
some well done steak.
Ariel
on
didn't
this
like
side.
the
A little bit of neck, a little
There's
bit
there's a lot of shots. Even yesterday, we were doing the Ade show, and he's like, "Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about a gym," and I was like, "What the fuck is
And then
that?"
you were like, wait, what? He's just like, nah, seriously,
No, but
you don't
like-
go to the fucking gym,
Yeah,
Ariel.
like
I know you said this.
Like,
he wasn't
Yeah,
like
he did.
taking the piss there. Like he was like, "Yeah, like you know, like geez, man."
Yeah, he immediately snapped back with no. That meant
He
what
was
I
like,
said.
and
be
it came
serious.
from nowhere.
Be serious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him some
Ariel's in
videos.
good shape too. Ariel's in the best shape.
I mean, no,
most of
Ade
these
is
Americans.
ripped, Jack, but let's also be honest. Ade is single and ready to mingle. So, like, you know, the priorities are a little bit different.
You're blaming this on the wife.
No, I'm saying
Blaming it on the kid.
the schedule
The
is a little
lifestyle's
bit
different.
different.
The
Yeah,
lifestyle.
Not
the
only do I
lifestyle is
not care
different,
how
all
your
right?
day was,
There's a lot of mac and cheese just kind of like sitting around. You know?
yeah. Feastables.
But can I tell you guys something?
Lunchlies.
Can I tell you that I'm not happy about? Can I tell
Yes,
you guys
please.
something? So the 2 days on Tuesday, like the two shows, like the two-a-days, if you will.
Yeah.
That is a
Two-show
good word
Tuesdays.
for it. It is a two-a-day.
Yeah, it is a two-a-day. It's a long day. It's a
a long
lot of
day.
talking. And yesterday was a particularly tiring day.
uh-oh.
And I got home yesterday, and I had a little bit to eat, and I sat there. I'm not proud of this. I've never done this. I ate a full pint of ice cream.
Whoa.
Fucking
All right,
respect.
what-
And-
Okay, what
Respect.
kind of
I've
ice
done it
cream?
before.
Tell us more details.
I've done it before.
I've-
Yeah, we need details.
And can I tell you the best?
Chocolate
Can I tell you the best part about it? I was going like I was doing the skimming off the top
Yep.
because I thought that maybe might
Yep.
like be better, and I just kept going, and I kept
Yeah.
going, and I kept going, And then I was like,
I've got questions.
And you know, like you get to like 1 quarter left,
Might
and you're
as
like,
well.
if you could just put this back, it's not the same. And then I kept going.
I'm surprised this is the first time, if I'm being honest. I can't count how many times I've done
How
that.
many times did you cap it along the journey?
Didn't cap, but I would do this. I would put it aside. I would
Put it
like
aside.
move it. I just moved it.
Where was the like fuck it point that you were just like fuck it?
Three quarters.
I had a long day. I had a
Quarters.
tough day. I'm just finishing this. I
It's
don't
like
care.
like this much was left.
Yeah.
This much right here, like a quarter left, and it was like a peanut butter vanilla with chocolate flakes.
Ooh, that's
incredible.
danger.
Yeah, it
That's
was
danger. Right
and I
there.
just kept
I'll do
going.
that to you.
And honestly, like I started to feel a little bit better as I was eating
I
it.
mean, you
I'm
down
gonna-
a pint of ice cream. It's hard to feel bad.
But then you do feel bad in the
I was gonna
aftermath.
say, other than the sheer lack of sugar, saturated fat, dairy that you just
Yeah,
intook.
thanks a lot.
I'm going to be honest. Pint is light work. Let's hit a quart next time.
No,
Let's hit a
God.
tub.
Dude, I can't.
I can't-
What's
we
a
can't
quart?
do
Like,
it.
what are we talking here? Like, what
Pint
size
is like
the
imagine
quart?
like a Ben and Jerry's. That's like the standard.
Yeah, like
the
the ones
big,
that you,
like.
yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah,
brand
that's a
was it? What brand was it?
It was like it was one of those like
Briars?
Häagen-Dazs.
you know, it was like a kind of a fancy schmancy one.
Man, you know what I learned
Ooh.
from Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Speaking of Häagen-Dazs, I always thought Häagen-Dazs was like a European brand.
What is
Isn't
it?
it like a made up name?
It's like New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Wow. I always thought it was as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
The
I was
reason I
totally
the
off
re-
base with that.
The reason I don't like
Learned it
the
from
Ben
a
and
sitcom.
Jerry's or the Häagen-Dazs is there's what's that
High
thing?
fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. So I try to go for the ones at least like we try to get the ones that don't have that at the very
But
least.
do you like ice cream or you more like gelato, Italian ice? Like
So I like gelato when you go to the place and they have like the mountain there, and you go to the little place in in the shop. But like to actually order it, I think I prefer just ice
Ice
cream.
cream. You guys cones or cup guys?
Cup.
I'm a cup too.
The cone seems just like needless.
Redundant.
there's
Y'all
only
doing
one
the
ice cream
toppings
for
too?
me. Bluebell ice cream from Texas.
Hey,
Brendan,
shout out.
Texas.
Shout out. I grew
Bluebell's-
up on Bluebell
Bluebell's
ice cream
really
as
good.
well.
Never even heard of it.
Shows.
Ooh, solid.
Bluebell?
Get a big tub.
Got to get on that.
Get a big tub of it. Do they even sell it up here?
Yeah. They do.
They had a song too. Bluebell tastes
we don't wanna-
just
we don't wanna get struck
like.
Beautiful.
PT
The good
ice
old
cream
days.
in Ireland or
Yeah, we recently got it like last year. There was a whole thing, you know. Beautiful times. Dad went down on the horse to get out of the shop, and we obviously got our
Turned
milk
in my
was there. We
hand.
got the cow. Yeah, just took the cow to work to get our milk for the day, and then they went, "We have this new thing. It's called ice cream." We're like, "What? We only got the Sega Mega Drive last week. I mean, what is this ice cream you speak of?" And they're like, "It's like cream, but it's solid." And we went, "Oh shit, give
I
us
love
some
the
of that."
Sega Mega Drive shout out. That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
anyway, I didn't feel great about it, but it was chicken soup for the soul.
Past is in the past, man.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it while it happened.
Yeah, it was nice while it happened, and then I showed it to my son. I'm like, I just want to let you know I'm not proud of this, and
Was
I
this
don't.
a post dinner?
It was post dinner, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to stop sometimes, especially when you're coming straight from the pint.
Can I be honest with you guys? One thing that I'm battling in the new era, and I only used to have to deal with this on Mondays, and then it was Mondays and Wednesdays. I am so hungry after the show that I feel like I'm overeating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time because I don't eat a lot before the show, and then I feel like I just go. It's just like
Can
a
I
bottomless pit.
Make a recommendation.
Yeah.
When you get your lunch here, get two and have
I
one ready
know,
for
but
you
I
after the show.
my brain is now programmed to where I need to like treat myself at the end of it.
And what's
Tough.
crazy too is like what you're doing is exhausting and it makes you really hungry, but also at the same time, like you are just sitting there.
I'm literally sitting. I'm not
Yeah.
burning any calories.
Right.
Well, no,
It's
tough. Yeah,
It was
it's
hop
a
on
tough
that
situation.
Aviron.
You
You just hop off. You end the show. Hop on that bike and then get yourself something.
Isn't
to
that
eat.
desk? Can't that be a stand-up desk?
You think so?
Gazelle.
I do it like McAfee.
Do 'em.
I'm just like,
McAfee.
We'll get you a walking treadmill too.
Ah,
You'll
that'd be-
interviewing
oh,
Jacques
that'd be
France, and you'll
fantastic.
just be
He's
burning
just
the
pacing
calories.
as he's interviewing people. That'd be hilarious.
Okay, let's hit a couple more here and call it a day. TJ. Actually, this is from Jack. Ariel, quick two-parter for you. Ireland is a country that is absolutely begging for a UFC event. We haven't had an event over here in over 10 years. I feel like you should play the music again. Despite having several rising stars, I work in the 3 Arena and often host MMA/boxing events. What do you think is stopping them from coming here? Hoping to go to the UK card next year for my first UFC event. I don't really, I mean, they say that the arena's too small, 10,000. They're killing it these days. So that seems to be the issue, right, Petesy?
Yeah, that seems to be what's been said. That was said to me like last year by John Gooden, actually. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? He was like, yeah, they need so many different areas for the broadcast now, and it's just not equipped with it. That seems to be what they're going with. I will say, like, it'd be a tough time to come back to Ireland right now with everything that's happened with Conor recently. You know, this civil case. Unfortunately, like he's so big that the sport is associated with mostly just him. A lot of people don't know anything outside that. Of course, there's a thriving community. That the MMA community here is a big one and a vibrant one. But for the casual guy just walking down the street, Conor McGregor is their only like reference to what MMA is. And I'd say if the UFC came here, it would be quite a controversial thing right now. So I'd imagine like I think what they say is correct about the Three Arena, like based on conversations I've had with the UFC people or people close to the UFC. I'm quite surprised by that because obviously I've been at these events that he's referring to, the boxing events and the MMA events. But it's obviously a good time now as well because we have so many people and Ian Gary's in the spot that he is in. But hopefully something will be sorted out soon. But I don't imagine it happening in the next year, unfortunately.
Here's another one for Mr. Carol Petesy. How much do you top up your Leap card by? Are you a 5 out of 10 euro type of guy, or are you one of those Egypts topping up 50 euro at a time, or are you too big time for the reliable Irish public transport? P.S. Ariel, I met you at the meet and greet in the Black Forge a few years ago before the Katie Taylor fight. You were a gent with plus 10,000 aura. Yeah.
Wow.
What is he talking about here with the Leap card?
Leap card is like your travel card here.
All right.
So you can use it on the train and the buses, which are never on time. I'm a like, I don't even know what's on it. I just scan the thing and I say, all right. And
Infinite funds. Infinite funds.
Yeah. I've got a gold one. The state just gave it to me. We just get on. They go, all right, Petesy. And I go, what's the crack, man? I sit down and off we go.
Gavin, can you ask Petesy what's the best Chinese in Blanche?
Jesus Christ. Best Chinese in Blanche is the Magic Wok right beside the Hearthstone house. If you've had a skin full of points and I'm talking over 6 here. I'm actually talking above 8. You need to go into the Magic Wok. You need to wear a hooded top, and my friend Jack Dunphy showed me this trick. A hooded top with one of them pockets in the front. And what you do is you get your chicken balls and you just put them in the front of your pocket, and you can still keep milling points of Arthur while you're digging in there and getting the occasional chicken ball to soak up all of the beautiful fluid.
TJ, hey Ariel, regarding yesterday's show and the Conor talks, as someone who's a diehard MMA fan, watches every single one of your shows, other MMA news channels, every pay-per-view, every fight night, every Apex card, every post pre-fight interview I can find, I can assure you that Conor is no longer the red panty knight for fighters after what he was guilty of, and that is why you had someone in the chat saying hypocrites. First of all, I've never used the term red panty knight. I've never said that. Now I understand the insinuation, but I think the hypocrite part is, I don't know, this gentleman or people thinking that we were advocating for this fight. I don't think any of us is advocating for the fight. We're just reacting to the news. In any event, fans are not going to forget what Conor did. And in my Darren Till voice, we don't care who or what he fights anymore, nor do we believe he is coming back to MMA. All right. I think
we actually voiced these things during the discussion yesterday. I think all of us said we don't particularly want to see this fight.
Yeah.
I also think it would be disingenuous to believe that Conor McGregor is not still the draw. Like all the evidence is to the exact opposite, to the contrary, in the fact that if anybody else was going through this, the UFC would nearly immediately cut ties. Like there is a value to Conor McGregor that still is maintained, at least in their eyes. And the assumption is that there are certain fans that do not feel this way. Now, it would also be disingenuous to say that I don't think that there's a certain number of people who do feel this way, because I think there's a lot of people who feel this way, but there are also a lot of people who would still support it and still watch his fight. So I don't think it's as cut and dried as the idea like I am speaking for everybody, nobody will watch Conor's fights again. I don't think that's ultimately true, but I think there are a lot of people who will agree with that and will voice their opinion to say that. But I ultimately don't think from a business perspective that's accurate.
Wow.
Can I just say, just on that, it seems like there's very different reactions either side of the Atlantic to this. You know, there is a big, like, Conor's as good as a pariah here in Ireland right now. It's not like that. I wouldn't say it's like that as much in the UK, but certainly there are stronger feelings, I think, over here than there are in the US. And I think that's a feeling that most people in Ireland have.
That's not surprising, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't watch like the nightly news, but like his story was being covered on the nightly news over there, and like it wasn't here, and that's just because of how big of a deal he is over there. I can assure you of this, whether people want to believe it or not. If in fact the UFC did announce that he was coming back in February, people would still buy the pay-per-view, and that's not a commentary. That's just the facts. We've seen it with the likes of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather, and other fighters who have been involved with the law and found guilty of things and found liable of things as well. So, I'm just going off of history. And you don't have to look that far to get those examples. This is from Sushi Dude. Ariel, why is it you eat and love sushi but won't eat rare/medium rare beef? Can you explain? I don't know. It just feels different.
It is very different.
Yeah. Mason, hey guys, I've been having an awfully rough week so far, but thanks for keeping my spirits high during the course of this week. No question. Just wanted to say thank you guys.
Shout out Mason.
Much love, Mason. We're here for you, and better days are ahead. Better days are ahead. TJ, what is one gift for last-minute shoppers that would be guaranteed to be enjoyed by the receiver? Petesy did some shopping today, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to expose my amazing gifts on this show right now. I mean, who knows who could be listening? I'd like to know.
Make something.
I'm very like big on the gifts. Like I like to deliver. This has been a thing. It's my love language because I'm so horrible all the time. I feel like I have to be like, oh, look, remember, I'm a nice
for
guy.
Years. Never got a gift.
Yeah.
We're talking about family,
Yeah. But I'd like to know who it was for, and I'd be able to give him a banger recommendation, but he hasn't given us this information.
I'm more of an experienced guy.
Same here. I think the Usyk Fury 2
like
pay-per-view would be a great gift to give somebody this year.
Give it to him on Christmas.
Yes.
Here's your code to get Fury Usyk 2, which happened back on December 21st.
Everyone stop chatting shit.
There's so many
to give it beforehand.
There's so many great questions, but we've just run out of time. I'm really sorry. Just two more. Ariel, do you think ESPN will keep UFC and PFL past 2025? UFC in some capacity, yes. Pay-per-views, I think for sure. PFL up in the air, but I would say they are going to be with ESPN now. They're going to divvy it up. You'll hear my thoughts on that on our preview show. That's December 23rd. Mitchell, hey Ariel, just wondering if you've been stripped of the World Openweight Broadcasting Championship. I haven't seen it in the new studio. No, it's right over there actually, and I showed it one time, but it has the MMA logo and the desk is different, and I don't know. It just didn't fit, but it's I'm looking right at it. It's right over there. An incredible amount of questions, tremendous questions. So let's go to the super chatters and get those before we say goodbye on this Wednesday. You see the sun setting behind me. Am I reading these?
Do you want me to read these out?
No, I'm happy to read them out. I just didn't know if we had them in some sort of document or something like that.
Let me read them.
All right, if you want.
Hey, Ariel, with you busy with Uncrowned, working at the Olympics, hosting / commentary for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, etc., has Pollock reached out to you to book you for the post-wrestling yearly review and prediction show?
Joe Poe, the man, yes, he has. We haven't talked about a date, but it is a tradition. We hit a bit of a rough patch there, but we got over it. I was back last year, and the tradition continues in January.
Love it. Shout out, John. Sleeto, Frank is piloting those New Jersey drones, isn't he? Frank, do you want to confirm?
I cannot confirm or deny.
I actually saw someone ask earlier, they were like, yo, get NewYorkRic to tell us about these drones.
Nah, I wouldn't know anything. It's New York, baby. Although
Arizona
they have been spotted out on Long Island.
Arizona Mick. They're starting to get spotted everywhere in the tri-state area, and it's starting to sketch me out a little bit.
I don't know how to explain this, but drones have been flown across the country for years now.
Yeah, here comes Frank with the classic. Everybody, the big conspiracy guy's like, calm it down. He's just like, microwaves aren't bad, and he's always got an answer.
From one edge of the planet to the other edge, and everyone sees it and freaks out.
All right, we've got a 2-pack here from Benjamin Turk. Hey guys, first timer, when will the award show be? Ariel, you plugged that earlier, but
January
we'll get another
6th.
plug. January 6th. We need to get a best bet awards also. Thanks, GC, for the free money. So he's thankful for this year.
Oh, you're welcome, brother.
UGC.
Thanks for entrusting in me. And also, we do the bets, the betting awards.
We will do the betting award this year. GC's got his own. Same guy, Benjamin adds, GC, thanks for shouting out Claus.
Let's go. All-timer. I rewatched it last week, and I was like, man, this might be my #1 favorite Christmas movie. It's that good.
Dave Sandine says, happy holidays to the crew. Love that holiday graphic on the display. Be sure to split this with the crew. Spread the wealth.
Oh, shout out to Dave.
How are we splitting this?
Our graphics team is unbelievable. Set design team is even better.
Jason Carney gifted 10 the Ariel Helwani Show membership. Shout out to Jason. I believe he gifted 5 the other day. Shout out Jason. He's in the holiday spirit. We appreciate you, Jason.
Jason K, baby.
Del Red says, what is everyone's favorite KO they have witnessed as a fan of MMA? Best KO?
Aldo McGregor.
That's a pretty great one.
That is a great one. I'm a newbie. I'm going to go Holloway.
Paul Daly, Scott Smith.
No, come on.
Oh,
it's a great one, but that can't be the
What?
best ever.
Bro. Robbie Lawler, Melvin Manhoef.
On the same card, right?
No. Paul Daly,
sorry.
Scott Smith was Robbie Lawler,
Lawler,
Matt Lindland.
Are we
Yeah.
talking like most impressive knockout or one that you had the craziest
Dude,
reaction?
when Paul Daly knocked out Scott Smith, he went he shut
him
off.
down. Yeah, he did shut him down.
What's the scariest one?
That Josh Emmett Bryce Mitchell one was pretty scary, dude.
That one was pretty scary. Bryce was down for a hot minute there.
Stupid question.
I saw Rakic knock out Jimmy Mano in Sweden. That
was a gnarly one. My favorite is still Silva on Griffin because I was there and it was just.
Can I tell you one? It's not MMA, but the Fabio Wardley Fraser Clark knockout from a couple of months ago when it looked like the dude's head got like,
got
when
a dent in his
here and here. Like that one made me uncomfortable.
Is it always a TKO if like a broken bone happens?
Yes.
Oh damn! All right, so like the Weidman Silva broken leg thing is not a knockout.
It's just very gory.
That's your favorite knockout?
It was the first one I saw.
It doesn't have to be your favorite though.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know about
Forget about that one.
Cole B, may I get my super chat read from last Wednesday? Sorry, Cole, I don't know how to do that, but
shout out Cole.
Shout out Cole.
Is that Cole B or Colby?
No, Cole B.
Colby,
Cole
like the
B.
cheese.
Colby like the cheese?
No, Cole space B.
Like Andy Cole B.
Jake from the Windy City says, hey, Ariel, I don't know if you talked about it yet, but what are your thoughts on Inside the NBA and the whole crew going to ESPN?
Oh, my.
I consider it a win for all sides. Props to TNT and ESPN for keeping it.
Win in theory. Let's see how it plays out. I mean, are these dudes just going to pick up and go there and be like, yeah, sure, boss?
And also, it's not the same cadence and frequency. They have to get used to all that.
And are they going to let them cook the way they do on TNT?
Let them cook.
Are they going to let them breathe and not just do like 30-second segments like before we celebrate? In theory, brilliant. Love it. Love everything about it. But wait.
Are they going to add Mike Greenberg to it?
Wait to see. Wait to see. That's your boy.
Paul Cassidy, best part of the bike challenge was Petesy's velvety moves. Petesy, the dance moves were incredible.
Shout out.
Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to bust out some new flavors every week. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for.
Our boy, regular Terrence Leverett. Since you are your own boss now, can we get Yahoo to make a green room type app? Miss chatting with the crew. It's less trolls over there.
Yeah.
Magical time.
I feel like the chat's a good community.
Yeah, we're working through the kinks.
We're working through the kinks.
Let's be positive.
Green
let's
room,
be helpful. Let's be friendly. Yeah, green room.
Was that Spotify Green Room?
Yeah, it was Locker Room, then it was Spotify Green Room, then it was
broke all the
Spotify
records.
Live.
Yeah. I remember. I was listening to that.
Award-winning, top of the charts, best show. All right, Mighty Zan, a member for 1 month. Shout out for he's been a Helwani for 1 month. If you watch Mr. Beast/Pump Drake, you're watching Conor. So basically, he's disagreeing with the person before. He's saying like people will still watch Conor McGregor.
Oh wow!
Yeah, of course.
Is Mr. Beast in that category?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, fine. Neither is Drake, really, but okay.
I've never watched a Mr. Beast video.
Oh, you're missing.
Missing out.
They're quite impressive.
Yep. That's it. No more super chats.
Love you all. Great stuff. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all the super chatters. Thank you to all the chatters. Thank you to everyone on the Substack page. Thanks for watching this video. Hey, before you go, do me a favor. Hit that sub button. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the little bell thingy as well. Leave us a nice comment or two. We appreciate you all very much.